So we're going to finish off the unit with this. And then, by the way, if you take Physics 12 with me, you will not learn anything new in the forces unit. We'll revisit forces. The only thing we'll start to ask what if things are on an angle? What if instead of pushing head to head, what if you're pushing at an angle? What if the ground is slanted? And so I have to teach you what's called vector mathematics. But after that, it's still going to be a job for a free body diagram. We're still going to ask who's winning, it's still going to be winner minus loser equals what? MA. Oh, there's more than one mass. Winner minus loser equals M all A. I don't have another skill or trick beyond that. Example 6. So I like this question. Oh yeah, I told you there's going to be a missing mass question in your future. Given that mass 2 is 4.3 kilograms and accelerating downwards, I told you what I'll often do then is I'll draw the acceleration in just so I don't forget. That helps. I do have to tell you, Casey, which way we're accelerating. And then I have to give you either tension or acceleration. From that, all else follows. You can figure everything else out. It looks like they gave me the acceleration, 2.5 meters per second squared. Casey, what does A want me to find? Yep. How? I can't go winner minus loser equals M all A. Oh, wait a minute. In that equation, the tension always canceled anyways. I did my little dumb stretch. I'm going to write an equation for the mass that I know. Read the question. Which mass do I know? M1 or M2? This is a job for a free body diagram. What are the forces acting on M2? Get the obvious one. Yes. What else? Yep. Is there a normal force? Is it sitting on a surface? No. Then don't get normal force loopy. Okay. Now let's write an equation for the mass that I know. And I'm going to use this equation to find tension. Which way is mass 2 accelerating? I did have to tell you that. Which way is the winning direction? Same answer. Look at your free body diagram. Who's winning? Which force is winning? More specific. What? M2. G. M2G. M2G. Right? My writing's messy. So who's winning? M2G. Which force is losing? Yep. And that's going to equal M2A. I'm not doing M all A because I don't know the missing mass. So I'm going to stay away from writing an equation for both. Either I'll give you tension, Lily, or I'll give you the acceleration. Looks like in this case they gave me the acceleration. I want to find the tension. Casey, what's right in front of the T that I don't like? Swappy dance. The M2G just drops down like a domino, minus, not plus, M2A, and that equals tension, but Casey, I hope you're okay if I put the tension equals on the left where we used it. See you. In your homework, if you started going straight to your calculator right now, Riley, I'd be okay with that. In our notes, let's write this out so we know what the heck we did when we're studying. So and on a test, write the numbers out so if you make a calculator typo, you're still okay. 4.3 times 9.8 minus 4.3 times 2.5. Let me know what tension is, Casey. Give it to me to all sig figs because I'm going to use this to find another answer. You going to make it? Those blinks are getting longer and longer. You going to make it? Those blinks are getting longer and longer. I'm watching. I will intervene if necessary. Well, no, I want everything because I'm going to use this to find another answer. Okay, you know what? I'll write 31.4. Is it 31.39? I'll write 31.4, but I'll store it on my calculator, right? Old trick. And it's a force, so newtons. That's step 1. Bryce, what does part B want me to find? M1. You know what this is a good job for? Yes. Hey, what are the forces acting on M1? Get the obvious one. M1G. And? Okay. Which way is Well, if M2 is accelerating down, which way is M1 accelerating? I'll just draw that in so I don't make a silly mistake. In fact, I think yesterday I mixed up a winner in one of my questions. I felt a little sheepish about that. I left that on YouTube on purpose. I thought about retaping the lesson in the afternoon, and no, I need to show YouTube viewers and you, I make dumb mistakes too. It's really tough to get perfect and not make any mistakes. Okay, Bryce, so which of these two forces is winning then? Loser equals M1. Yep. So for part B, I totally agree. My equation is going to be tension minus M1G equals M1A. And the four of you that were away yesterday, here's where we're going to get clever. We're going to actually pull out some Math 9 and get clever. And any of you that are doing Pre-Calc 12 next year or this semester, it's also a really, really handy skill. I'll show you later. Because, Bryce, what am I trying to find? M1. How many M1s do I have in this equation? How many would I prefer? Let's get them all to the same side. So all plus and minus. You know what? I think I'll plus the M1G over to this side. And I'll get this. Tension equals M1A plus M1G. And Lily, here is where we're going to get Math 9 clever. We'll see if Bryce remembers. How many M1s do I have? 2. How many do I prefer? It would be really neat if there was a Math 9 operation that I could pull out of my back pocket and change this from 2 M1s into 1. Do you remember what it was? Factoring. It was GCF, the greatest common factor. Lily, is there an M1 in the first term right here? Is there an M1 in this term right here, the second term? I'll go higher, sorry. In the same way that in Math 9 you learned you could factor that by factoring out the GCF of the X. Remember doing that way back when? Same trick. It's Math 9. I'm going to factor out the M1 and I'll get A plus G. Lily, why is that so nice? How many M1s do I have now? Lily, how will I get the M1 by itself? What's the bracket doing to the M1? So? Anybody here in Pre-Calc 12 this semester? You are? 11. No, Pre-Calc 12. Last semester. Okay. When you had equation, don't write this down. If you had something like this, x log 4 plus 5x log 7 equals 8. I know that some people make that a decimal and just make that a decimal. The problem is with logs, it's always irrational. No. Factor out the x. How would I get the x by itself? Divide by the bracket. So those that are doing Pre-Calc 12 next year, I'm telling you, that there, it's way less work, way less writing. You're not having to carry a whole bunch of nonsense decimal places around. And that'll give you the exact value when you type that. Oh, brackets around the bottom, all the stuff that I've taught you. There's a few other places you can use that trick as well. But that one I remember, yeah, absolutely factor out a GCF. Meanwhile, back to here. Lily, sorry, what did you say? How did I get the bracket over? Yeah. So you're telling me M1 is going to be tension divided by A plus G. Casey, we're coming back to you. What was tension? It wasn't 31.4. I think it was 31.39. Or use your answer button. Divided by, Casey, what was the acceleration? 2 something. 2.5? Plus 9.8. Folks, what do you get? Give me the mystery mass to, let's say, 3 sig figs. So something point something something. 2.55 or 2.56? Which one's rounded off properly? 2.55? And then it's a mass, so units, kilograms. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of forces. It's a long unit. It's both really easy and really tough. The actual math I've taught you is actually meh. Winner, lose, adding and subtracting. But, and Newton's laws, only 3 of them. But I agree, it is really tough to wrap your brain around those. In fact, I'm willing to bet many of you, when I've helped you with a homework question, I've said something like, this is so easy that it's tough. The tougher ones are easier to wrap your brain around. The simpler free body diagrams, those are tougher. They really are. But that's it. So what's your homework? I already told you yesterday, but for those of you that were away, you can circle number 1. If you get number 1 right, you can skip number 2, which is also an Atwood machine. But if you want more practice with Atwood machines, you can do number 2. Number 3, I think I said you should be able to do number 3 in your head, if you're paying attention. You can skip 4, 5, and 6, but then 7, 8, and 9. Almost done before I turn you loose. Also, you have a take-home quiz. That take-home quiz is on everything. It's got some teeth.